Hello, everyone. It's always fun waiting till that goes off the light. Am I still staring at the camera? Did I stare too long? Because no matter how many times you do this, as someone with social anxiety, I still get nervous, right? But I've also learned to get nervous and keep it going because that is the definition of courage. That's the definition of bravery. To be afraid, to have some fear, but keep going anyway, right? And that's what gets you there. So, good morning, good morning. And for those, some of you, it's already afternoon or even in the evening, but thank you. For those of you who this may be your first time, catching me on a live. I'm Tawana Carter, and I am a career and transition coach. And I help women overcome that fear and anxiety that can come along with transitioning into a new career. And I help them by empowering them to recognize and communicate their unique value. As well, how do I do that? I do that by instilling a deep sense of belief in their own strengths and abilities so that they can confidently and courageously create success on their own terms and pursue a path of purpose that's meaningful to them, right? So I want to give everybody just a few moments to pop on. And as you know, for those of you who know me well, I always have several screens open and I try to go down and catch the comments because I don't always see them in StreamYard. And sometimes they're, of course, delayed. And as you hop on this morning, go ahead and drop a hashtag live and let me know you're there, right? So this morning was kind of a tea morning. I've got some passion fruit tea. It's it really rained last night like crazy. So it's a little damp and a little cool. And so it's a good tea day if you're into tea, right? And I love the passion fruit tea. I am still looking for a good chai tea, something that I can make at home. So if anybody has any suggestions, I would certainly welcome those. I am really looking for a good chai tea. I discovered a tin of Tiavana that I forgot because I bought a tin for work and a tin for home, and I brought home, of course, COVID-19. I brought home the tin from work and forgot all about it. And so I went through that, and now I'm just looking for a good chai tea. So, any recommendations? I would love it. Certainly appreciate it, right? So, you saw my lead in today, right? And sometimes I hear people say this, and they're like, why won't my career counselor or my career coach or my career transition coach, why don't they just tell me what to do? Just look at my career, look at it, see what matches, and then tell me what to do. Does that sound familiar? Have you heard that before? I kind of, I kind of smile when I get that in. And I'm also a licensed therapist as well. And so sometimes I'll get people that come in, it's like, I just need you to tell me what to do. Just tell me where, tell me what to do. Just look at all my stuff, look at my resume, just tell me, that career right there, that's the one for you. Wouldn't that be great just to show up to someone's office and in a couple of minutes they just say, ha, right there, there's your career. Go forth, be happy. It would be great, wouldn't it? Yeah, it just doesn't work that way. No, it will really be great. And I remember at a time in my career, my first big transition when I transitioned from the Army, I was a captain in the Army to civilian life, as we call it, right? I certainly wished at that point someone would just look at all the stuff I'd done, because when you're in the military, you do become a jack of all trades. So I've done physical security, right, and I've done security, and I've done logistics, and I've done engineering, and I've did at some project management, and so I have all these skills that are seemingly not necessarily correct connected to each other. And I'd manage soldiers. You walk in, I received a commission as a second lieutenant through the RTC program. I had a 4-year all-TC scholarship. So when I graduated from Alabama A&M with my BS in zoology and a minor in chemistry, I was also commissioned a second lieutenant. So you walked in the door in charge. You walked in the door with a platoon of people, of men, because I didn't have any women at that time, and you're in charge. So I had supervisory experience, and I had some career counseling experience because you end up doing that as a lieutenant. So I had all these different types of experiences. And I would have just loved someone to look at all that and say, yeah, you fit that career. Go forth and be happy. It would be a great and wonderful thing, but yeah, it doesn't really work like that. It'd be nice, but it really doesn't work like that. Okay. So as a career transition coach, what do I do? Was no, I don't tell people like, here's your career. I've looked at it. This is a career for you. You need search no more. It's over and done with. Right. Now, I'll be honest with you. I've worked with a couple of people that I could have said, yeah, I would say that or that, and you probably would be happy, but it's still a probably because only you know that. And so, as a career transition coach, what I do is I actually work with, I do mindset coaching first. Then I do confidence coaching to be sure your confidence and your self esteem and your self worth are where they're supposed to be. Then I will get into the career coaching, and I do it in that order for a reason. If your mindset is fixed, and sometimes it's you're anxious about it, sometimes you're coming from a toxic workplace and you're just thinking a certain way because you're fed up and you just want to get out now because the workplace has been so toxic. For some of you, it just may be toxic relationships that have your judgment maybe clouded a little bit or a lot. Some of you are in the sandwich generation where you have your kids you're taking care of, and you may have older parents or your grandparents or uncles and aunts that you're taking care of. And I've actually met many of you who are taking care of parents, and you have a sick spouse, and you have the kids. So stress is like really prominent in your life, but all of that stuff I just mentioned affects your mindset. So that is why I start with mindset coaching first, because there's only so many places you can go if your mindset. Hey, Anna, how are you doing? Thanks for hopping on, lady. Yeah, let me know if you have any questions because this is a time to get it answered, right? Absolutely, absolutely. But yeah, if your mindset is just clouded because you have so much stuff going on in your life, you're not right what it your mind is not quite where it needs to be to even make decisions. And to be honest with you, you could find a career coach that says, here's my crystal ball. I have found your career. Do this. But if your mindset is not where it needs to be, it's not going to matter anyway. You do have to get that mindset, do that mindset coaching first, right? Then I move on to the confidence coaching and the career coaching. I'm sorry, the confidence coaching and look at that self esteem. Because what I find is once I do the mindset piece and you start to kind of open up, because I help you to open up to the possibilities that are there. But oftentimes, once I get women to open up to the possibilities that are out there, there's this, I'm not good enough for that. I don't have enough this for that. I've been here too long. I can't do this. Whoever told me that? Because I realize there are some pretty bad supervisors out there, and they're and I'm not saying some of them are that way purposely. Some of them are that way because they don't know any better, but they kind of feel like they got to tear you down to build you up under the way they think. But sometimes they're really good at tearing you down, but they're not so great at building you back up. And so a lot of ladies that come to me have often been torn down, broken down by managers and supervisors or people they work with, but that build up process never really happened. Okay. So that's why I do the confidence coaching to be sure your self esteem is intact and where it is. Now, typically, by the time we do the mindset coaching and I do the confidence coaching, the doors open up, and then that's when the light just shines down on the client, right? I don't have to tell a client what she's going to do, but they come tell me. I had a client that we went through it, followed in that order, and she was like, I am no longer afraid. I'm ready to go. Literally, she started the networking with the right people. She started the job searching with the right people. I was there to give pointers and just to be a guide and do the accountability piece and walk along with her in a journey. But she started pushing it. She started pushing me. And it's not the first time that's happened. I've had clients that came in And, I've been stuck here. And, I was like, and I really wanted to work with this particular client because I could see the mindset was like not where it needed to be, but her skills were just off the chain. Her skills was so off the chain. She was really great at what she did. So we did the mindset piece, we did the confidence coaching, and then, about month 5, she walked in and said, "Yeah, I resigned from the job. I'm starting my own business, and I got my first client." Whew. you know, at that point, I'm just an accountability coach because she really started driving it. I simply opened up her mind, helped her to shift her mindset to the possibilities that are out there, right? That's it in a nutshell. Because understand that career transition is a process, right? It's a process. So um, let's see, I had a comment here. So Anna said you said you absolutely will. What were you replying? What was that in response to? Because I'm bouncing between screens to catch the comments. So yeah, let me know what you were replying to. All right. And so yeah, but what I was saying is career transition it's a process. And so a process as defined by the dictionary, right, is a series of steps and decisions. So no career coach, no career transition coach, no career counselor can go, "I have all of your steps and decisions, and I hereby declare you to be this, go forth and be happy." No, because career transition is a process. It's a series of steps. It's a series of decisions. You make a decision, take a step, evaluate. You need to do some more of that, need to do less of that, need to change it. Another decision, take some steps based on that. What do you get? You like it, don't you? How does that work out? So it's just not feasible that a career coach or a career transition coach can tell you. We as coaches cannot cut out all of that process. We can't cut off all your decisions and we can't cut off all of your steps. Well, what we can do is open your mind to the possibilities that are there by helping you to shift that mindset. And so that's what I do, right? That's my special sauce. I can open your mind to the just all the possibilities that are there. Now, sometimes I do that and people are like, "I can't decide what." I mean, I got 5 choices. They're all viable. What now? But we just sit down and we work through one by one. And then that's when I do the career transition coaching. Once that mindset is shifted, the possibilities are open. You actually see yourself because I work with women who want different jobs and they're much like I was. I couldn't envision myself in a successful job. I couldn't get a vision in my head of that. So there I was interviewing with all these corporate bigwigs and doing all these things and sitting there with them. I couldn't see myself successful, right? And so lots of jobs I didn't get, and amazingly, I did get jobs because they looked at my skill sets. And of course, I was coming out of the military, and some people just love you when you come out of the military because you're so disciplined and you're so people always tell me you're responsible, you're disciplined, you're punctual, you're focused, you're mission driven. So those transferable skills in and of themselves really people wanted me as an employee, right? I couldn't envision myself in the jobs. Couldn't see my own self in it. That was a mindset issue. It was a mindset issue all day long. I needed a coach to coach me on the mindset piece before I ever got to interviewing for a job. I wasn't ready. I couldn't see. My mind was so closed. So, okay. Oh, so Anna says, "I absolutely will ask any questions." Okay, if I have any. And she says, "I'm actually enjoying hearing you teach. The first time I heard you speak on career transition, it opened my mind to many possibilities." Exactly, Anna. That's the whole thing. Your mind has that you have to do that mind shift. It has to open, really does have to open. And then I do the confidence piece because when it opens, sometimes that imposter syndrome or that doubt goes, "You can't do that. That's for people who are successful." I know for me, I was like, "Oh no, master's degrees are for people who are smart. I'm not smart. I can't get a master's degree. Oh no, I can't do that career. That's for people who are really, really smart. I can't do that." So that was a confidence piece and a self-esteem piece, and then me not understanding my own value. right? So you've heard me talk quite a bit these past couple of weeks about value, because people are like, how do I get an employer? What do I say to make an employer understand that I can do this position and he or she should, go ahead and hire me for it? It's your value. And oftentimes, if your self confidence is lacking, you can't go into an interview and express your value because you don't believe in your own self. At that time, you don't believe in your own self yet, right? So that's why it is difficult sometimes, because you'll sit in an interview and your energy comes across. If you don't believe in yourself, and you're like me, I was praying that somebody else would, or they see something somewhere that will say, "Oh yeah, we'll go ahead and hire you. We'll take a chance and hire you." But it doesn't work like that. You have to have the confidence in yourself. Now, like I said, coming out of the military, my skill set said this, right? It said this type of job. And that's what, the jobs that wanted to hire me, that's what they wanted me for. The problem was I didn't want to do that anymore. I know what my skill set said I was capable of doing, and they loved that, but I didn't. And it wasn't a good fit. It was not a good fit. So that's where the career coaching comes into place as a career transition coach, right? I do the mindset piece first, then I do all that confidence and that self-esteem, teaching you what your value is. Then we do the career coaching part of that. Looking at that resume to be sure your story and your resume all match the job you're applying for, because some of us will do this. I was guilty. I did this. I know of what I speak. I apply for anything moving. If it was out there, if a job was open, I just applied for it. I would look like, I'm just gonna apply for anything. Maybe they'll see something I don't see and they'll hire me anyway. And it can get demoralizing when you keep getting turned down, but you're not applying for jobs that are the right fit. So I do all of that in that career coaching piece when I work with you in my programs, right? So yes, career counselors and career coaches, we cannot just walk in and tell you what to do. It would be lovely for it to work like that, but that's really not the way that it works. You really do have to go through the series of steps in the process. Now, that process is different for everybody that comes in. I've done it with clients, and they came on with me for a 3 month stretch, and then the first month, bam, 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 they followed all the steps, they made all the decisions, and they actually got hired at the end of the first month. It is possible. It is very much possible. I've had other clients, it took 3 months, and then they got hired on the job that they wanted to. So everybody is a little different. What you want in a job is different. What you require in a job is different. And what you would like in that position is different for each person. So that's another reason why, as a career coach, I can't just point out a job and say that's the one for you right there. Right now, I may look at a job and question, the fit, and then I'll start asking you questions so that you can tell me. And I've done that with my coach. I want to do something, and they just start these questions. I was like, oh. Or I've had someone say, you're not qualified for this. And I had to come back and say, actually, 15 years ago, I did this, and I did this. And then over here, I did this piece. And she was like, oh, I didn't know that. I did not know that. You're exactly right. Good fit for you. Go for it. And that's another reason why a coach cannot just tell you which position to take. So that's my clock telling me I'm supposed to be somewhere in a couple of minutes. But that's another reason why we don't tell you what you should do, because you have worked in those jobs. You have collected all the transferable skills. We can only go by what you tell us. So therefore we can't make those kinds of decisions to tell you what to do. But we can be there to be a guide. Again, what I do is I do the mindset piece of that, open up the mindset to the possibilities, and then immediately get on the confidence piece of that, because once you see the possibilities, you oftentimes will go, I'm not qualified for that. And then after we work through all of that, the self-esteem issues, the self-value issues, the self-worth, get that where it is. And then we're adding in the career coaching part of that. Being sure all of your stories are straight. Like, what stories are you telling in the interview? How are you telling the stories? What skills are you, expressing or putting the emphasis on? And again, to be sure your stories and what you do and your resume, they all match that job that you're applying for. So you're not wasting your time, effort, and your energy interviewing for jobs that are not even a good fit for you, right? They're just not even a good fit because they're not where you need to be. And then it also helps people to cut down on, being excited. They offer you the job and you get there and go, I hate this. I don't I don't want to do this. Right. And that's one of the number one fears that keeps people stuck. Like, what if I choose a wrong job? If you go through the process and you do it correctly, you really significantly reduce your chances of doing that. But it can happen as a fluke, as I know I've done that, and I just immediately go through the same process to find another job. So it's not the end of the world, but you can do course correction as needed, right? So what I talked to you about today, my promise to you was I was going to answer the question, why won't my career coach just tell me what to do, tell me what job I should have based on my skill sets? And that's because we really don't know you, and career transition is actually a process. And you can't cut out that process. It's a series of steps and a series of decisions. But what we can do, or what I do as a career transition coach, is I help you focus. Work on the mindset to open up your mindset to the possibilities. Then we work on your self confidence, and that self esteem, and your self value so that you know where that is. Then we do the career coaching piece of that, is helping you to find your values, your career values, right? Determining all of your skill sets. What do you have? What is that a good match to? Who are you? What do you like in a job? You know, do you want a job where you're outside? Do you want a job where you're inside? Do you mind being at a job where your boss is a screamer, or do you cannot do the screaming thing? See, all of that matters. It all matters, and therefore that is why I, as a career transition coach, cannot shortcut that. Because if you want a job working on the inside because you hate working on the outside, and I find a job for you that works on the outside, it's not a good fit for you. I have to actually know you. So we act as guides to help you as you're making those series of steps and decisions so that you can get best fit jobs, and then narrow it down so that you're only applying jobs that are a good fit for you. So if you hear me and you're like, oh, okay, I got that. Sounds like I need a little bit of help with this. I do provide a free strategy consultation, and you can DM me at the message in there. It should be right below. For some of you, it's right above, and for some of you, it's below and above. DM me at that web address there. It's just Messenger and Facebook. DM me and I will get in contact with you. I will set up your free strategy consultation so we can go through and see what you're working with, where you are, where you like to go, and then what are the steps. I help you to come. I do a basic, you walk away with a step-by-step plan of what step decisions you need to make next, right? It's not difficult, but it is a process. And it is how much you want to do at one time that determines if you have a month-long process, 2-month-long process, 6 months. It just depends. All right. So I do want to say thank you, thank you, thank you for being here. Those of you who caught it live, do drop hashtag live in the comments so I know you caught it live. And as well, those of you who catch it on the replay, I am always appreciative. Thank you, thank you, thank you as well. And for those of you who think that career transition only means going and working for someone else, not true. Tune in Thursday night. I'll drop the link there. But I have Amanda Berry coming, and she's going to talk about the 3 different ways to go into business and how to tell which one is right for you. Because yes, ladies, career transition into entrepreneurship is still a career transition. And yes, your transferable skills are still important if you're going into an entrepreneurship. So be sure to catch it right here, 8 p.m. Eastern Time. It'll be in my group. I have a free Facebook group for women, Courage Your Chances in Your Career. You can join that, or you can catch it live right on my personal profile. And you can also catch it live on my business page, right? So don't miss it. It is a great time as we talk about career transition into entrepreneurship. Thanks for watching, and you all have a fabulous day.